What's up, boys and girls? Back at it again with another deck profile. This time we got some premium action going on with Victor. This deck's really fun. I don't know what to say. Let's just hop right on into it. First we got four of the main man right here, Victor. This is a really good card. Zubat Battler Victor. The Pokemon reference is appreciated. Counterblast 1 when your G unit strides. Pay the cost you do, draw a card. I always forget the draw of this. I always forget it lets you draw. I gotta start remembering that. CB1 draw, choose a card from your hand, call it rear guard, choose one of your units, and until end of turn it gets auto once per turn. When it attacks, choose one of your other rear guards and stand it. Most of the time you just slap this on the Vanguard to extend your plays. It's really good. But its real ability is the second one. At the end of turn, if the number of face-up cards in your damage zone is 1 or less, countercharge. If the number of cards in your soul is 1 or less, soul charge. And then if you countercharged and soul charged, you get the draw. So this guy is just a plussing machine. He is what sent him and another card in this deck are what sent Nova Grapplers kind of over the edge at the end of G era, because you could spend all your resources and then just easily get him back at the end of turn for like no cost, and it's great. He also really helps extending your plays during your stride. So all around, Victor is just a fantastic card in this deck. You never want to ride anything else except for our next card, Battledore Fighter. I run him in case he's a nice ride target to hit when you don't hit Victor and you can't G assist, because you at least get an Excel circle, so when you do hit Victor, you have that to work with. He's got a good Vanguard skill that he can use. I don't know, it's okay. He's mainly there for the rear guard. He's good if he's in my hand, I've already strode, I need to call something. He's a 17k attacker. It's fine, I can restand him with the stride skill. He never comes up. I mainly end up just pitching him for stride fodder because I never want to ride him. I always want to be seeing Victor first. So this card's kind of here for when it comes up so I can see what it can do. But so far, it has not really done anything. I was thinking about running maybe a Shurikaiser, maybe Excessive Battler. The deck is still being worked on. I just want to get this deck profile out because this is what I'm satisfied with for now. And then once we get like maybe support from that Nova Grappler set that's coming up with Beast Deities, maybe this deck will see improvement. Probably not, since it's Beast Deities, which Ethics Buster is really friggin' cool, but I love Extreme Battlers, and it's the only Nova Grappler deck I play. I just like Extreme Battlers because they look like gunmen. For those of you that don't know, I'm a massive Gurren Lagann weeb, as you can see. 4 copies of Golsachi. This card is an amazing grade 2. It's so good. It's like your better Sever Temper. If you have a Vanguard with Victor in its card name, it gets resist for some reason, because why not? And then once per turn on rear guard, counterblast 1 when it attacks. You pay the cost you do. Choose one of your rear guards and stand it. Cool. It's free restand on a rear guard for a counterblast. That's really good. And then it has a rush. Once per turn, GB2, when it stands due to the effect of your card, it gets plus 7k until end of turn, so it becomes a 16k attacker on its own. Which is really good. I like it a lot. This card's really freaking good. It makes your plays. It makes you play it. Pardon me. It makes your plays. Be sure to call it whenever you can. It's awesome. Next up is it. How do I say it? Extreme Battler Ninjad. Purple robot ninja dude with a massive electro shuriken. Sure, whatever. Once per turn, rear guard, auto, GB1, counterblast 1 when this unit attacks. If you have a Vanguard with Victor in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your rear guards and stand it, and this unit get plus 2k for each face-up card in your G zone. On your first stride turns, it ends up giving like plus 4 at most if you're lucky. But like your late stride turns, like on your like favorite champ turns, like this thing will end up giving probably plus like 10. It gets pretty swole. You use this as another Golsachi. It's just a way to stand your rear guards and proc your Vanguard skills. You just get more attacks in. It's a really good card, and it can get really big late game. And then our last grade 2 is 4 copies of Magical Performer. I've played around with other cards. I really like Performer as a kind of a beat stick. Her skill Rush auto once per turn. When this unit stands due to the effect of your card, this unit gets +5 cancel end of turn for each face-up card in your G zone. So like, first stride, it's like you're in at 10, maybe 15. Second stride, it's getting like plus like 30, maybe. It could get around like plus 30. It gets really big. This card's really nice, especially if you're gonna restand it multiple times. It helps a lot. But other than that, it's a really simple card. It's just like your big beat stick that you want to be targeting with your restands. Sadly, it's once per turn though. You'll kind of notice it's funny. Victor in Premium, even though I play, it's still like the same. It's almost the exact same Victor deck from G-Era. It still is like an Excel deck where it's so little pokes with not enough power. So if your opponent hits 1 VR to like 10k defensive trigger, you're still kind of screwed. So it still feels like an Excel deck, even though it plays like very literally Excel cards. For stride fodder, like duh, you need to stride, you need to ride your victors. So for stride fodder, you need to search your victors. Like you need Victor. He makes the deck work. So that's a simple auto include. I really like 4 Razor Custom. This card's really funny. I just slap it down behind like a ninja. Whatever. Slap it down behind one of your restand rear guards so it restands with it and gives it a continuous +8. Sometimes I ride it for the +8. I mean, rarely do I ride it for the 8k power. You never use its act. Like, it's just stupid. You use it because it's like it's Riot Horn. It's just Riot Horn. It's just a constant restanding behind a column. And it's really solid. Who knows? Maybe I'll build Beast Deity. Comment down below if I should build Beast Deities. The answers would probably won't. Unless no one else at my locals builds it. If no one at locals builds it, then I'll slam on that deck, but 4 copies of Extreme Battler, Gerald Hawk. This thing comes up rarely, but when it does, it really matters. Auto, GB1, Counterblast 1, put it into Soul. At the end of the battle, if you see it boosted or rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with Victor in its card name, you pay the cost. If you do, draw a card, stand the boosted unit, and it gets +2 cancel on turn. So, like, a lot of the times, you don't want to end your turn with 2 open Counterblast. That's kind of a waste. So a lot of times I'll like be out of combos, and I'll be looking for ways to extend and just use Counterblast so I can use Victors to be able to draw. This guy comes in handy sometimes. He's a nice extra restander. Rarely do I use him, that's why I play him at 3, but when he comes up, he feels really nice. And then our last grade 1 is 3 copies of Extreme Battler Gunzon. Die Gunzon. Grade 1 7k. Act. Once per turn, GB1, rest this unit. Choose the 5-year rear guards. Until end of turn, they get resist. So it gives your board resist, which is really nice against like the upcoming like hetero round, defeat flares, denial griffin. Anything that retires, like this card's really nice. I like it a lot. And then Rush, auto, once per turn, when this unit stands, do the effect of your card, it gets +4k until end of turn for each face card in your G zone. This doesn't matter until your favorite champ and a GB8 turns. You're never going to want to stand this. Sometimes you do if you have to throw in rear and like front row, but which is nice. It's just great when you can toss the front row and still get like restanding plays out of it, but for the most part, you just want to give your board resist, make it live, because this deck dies to like denial griffins and stuff. Trigger lineup, fairly simple. It's just like 6 crit, because crits are nice in this kind of deck where you want to be putting them on like restanding rearguards. I don't play any fronts, because they're good. I just don't have the space for fronts. I'd rather have the crits just because I want to try playing fronts. I played them a little. Being able to throw a crit on like a gold Sashi that's gonna reset. Pardon me. Being able to throw a crit on a gold Sashi that's gonna restand like 3 times is really scary. So I dropped a card. So I really like crits. I think they're good. Play fronts if you want. I don't know. It's personal opinion. Do you, Honeyboo. For draw PG, because PGs are what help you stay alive. You kind of need them. Also, draws are really nice in this deck because we need the hand so we can do our turns and call cards. For the Blau heal, because I like being able to... This deck really wants the G-Guard, so I really like being able to either Soul Charge or Counter Charge when I G-Guard, just get more resources back and set up for the favorite champ turn, so I can do it as much as possible. Lastly, 2 Extreme Battler Kachiwal. This card's really funny. Hitting a stand during the attack phase is actually kind of relevant. Especially, it lets you extend your winning champ abilities. And then this is really funny because you can stand it. It's Rush auto GB1. Put this unit on the bottom of your deck. When this unit stands the effect of your card, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. Choose one of your rear guards, stand it, shuffle back to deck. So it goes back to deck. You get +1, and it procs another winning champ. This card is really, really nutty. I only played it 2 though, because I don't want to see stands a lot. It's one of those, if I see it, sick, but there's cards I'd rather be playing. I don't want to clog the deck with stands either. Lastly, our starter, I play Tap the Hyper. I think he deserves more love. He gets no play, so I'm gonna play him. I understand Kachi. I understand the Kachiwa, or not Kachiwa. I understand Kabutron. A lot of the times, I don't have the Counterblast for him. I don't want to waste Counterblast on him. I'd rather just get the hard +1 off of tap, and just be able to call cards. I don't know. I think tap deserves more, because in standard you're forced to play Battle Razor. So I want to give tap some love. Onto the G Zone. 2 copies of the main man himself, Winning Champ Victor. This card is nutty. Auto Vanguard, Soul Blast 1. Choose a face down card from your G Zone. Turn it face up. When your rear guard stands, you pay the cost. If you do, that unit and this unit get +5 cancel on return. And then it's GB3 is at the end of the battle. This unit attack, draw a card. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards with the lowest power and tire it. This card puts you at like GB4 on your first stride because that's not a once per turn skill. So you end up using all your soul blast all your soul, because every restand you're gonna use this every time a card restands. So you get to go to like GB4 on your first stride, and it's really funny. So you can get really high GB numbers off this guy. He's really good. He set this deck over the edge. He's just beautiful. Play it too, because you're not gonna go into it more than 2 times. For Meteor Kaiser Victor, this card is it's really just your flip target for a winning champ. It's just what you're gonna be flipping. But it's really nice to go into when you're out of resources, and you're not in a position to close out with favorite champ or on your GB8. This card's really nice to go into if you have it. It's once per turn, choose a face down card with Meteor Kaiser Victor and its card name from your G Zone. So Persona Flip. Until end of turn, this unit gets auto. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose it to one of your rear guards and stand it, and it gets +5 cancel on turn, whatever, on hit restand. And auto GB3, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose up to one of your rear guards and stand it, and it gets +5k. So, it's fun. It's just like, it's free restanding. So yeah, play it. Go into it if you have to, but most of the time, it's just winning champ flip fodder. Next, we're gonna go into our finishers. First up, the pretty whoopsie-daisies, that's not supposed to be over there. The pretty SGR favorite champ Victor. This card is nutty when you go into him. So his skill, Auto Vanguard GB2, Counterblast 2, choose a card from your hand and discard it. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to the same number of rear guards as the number of face-up cards in your G-Zone, most of the time like 6. G-Zone, and stand them. If you stood 3 or more cards, choose 3 cards from your hand, and you may discard them. If you do, countercharge 1, stand this unit, and it gets drive -2. So you pitch 4, counterblast 2, well, counterblast 1, because you're going to countercharge. Counterblast 1, pitch 4 cards, restand it with drive -2, and then the restand your board. Seems good. I got to center this. And then you realize this isn't a once per turn. So if you have the counterblast in the hand, you can do this multiple times. And that ends up being how you win, is you just favorite chant them to death like 3 times. It's really funny and really fun to do. Your second finisher, which I really like I haven't gotten many chances to go into it, but when you do, boy is it fun. Fire Dragon Kingfish Drigger. His ability, GB8, Counterblast 1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you may pay the cost. If you do, stand all your rear guards. Until end of turn, they get, when this unit, once per turn, when this unit rests, stand this unit. And this unit gets +5k until the end of battle for each of your rear guards. So you end up like, let's see, you go, 1, 2, 3, restand, 4, 5, 6, 7. You end up getting like 7 attacks off of them. I think you get more off favorite chant, but like, Counterblast 1 for 7 attacks is really good. And if you turbo hard enough, if you hit both gun reads and you do a go to winning champ turn, you can hit this by second stride. It's really nice. Speaking of gun read, we play 2 copies of gun read. This is how you turbo GB8. It's auto GB1. Choose a face down G Guardian from your G Zone, turn it face up. When it's placed on Guardian Circle, and pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your Vanguards. Until end of turn, it gets auto Vanguard. At the end of the battle, that it was attacked. If it didn't hit, countercharge 1. So this is nice. It's just turbos you out to GB8 because you just flip. Also, it's really good because for the rest of the turn, every time you successfully guard an attack, you get the countercharge 1. So you get to use all your counterblasts on your winning champ turn, countercharge 1 with Victor, and then go into this and countercharge the rest and be able to winning champion to the death next turn. Like, it's really funny if you get it. So, like, searching your heals is really nice. The last G-Guard we play, 2 copies of Mediokaiser Dogon Titan. Generic, continuous, the number of beer guards is less than your opponent's, so it gets plus 10k shield. And then G-Zone, Soul plus 1, turn it face up. Turn this face up card face down, choose a card in your circle or damage zone, turn it face up. It's your flip target for gun read. Sometimes you may want to, like, use its skill to countercharge if you can't, like, GB8. Maybe. It's whatever. I rarely go into it. It comes up occasionally, but most of the time you're just going into gun read. And, yes, this is a semi-budget build where I only run, like, freaking 12, I think, cards in my G-Zone. Because I don't need to waste money on extra things. Because the games I play never go that long. I'm never going to take this to, like, a tourney where, like, the niche games come up. So a lot of my, like, premium decks only have, like, 14 cards in the, like, 12 cards in the G-Zone. Because I just play what's necessary and not really just try to fill it up. Because I can't afford that. I'm trying to play standard, too. So, yeah, I personally believe that going with the 12 card G-Zone sometime is understandable and, like, reasonable if you're just trying to plan on a budget. But, yeah, that's, Victor Premium. It's a fun deck. Build it if you feel like it. It's not competitive at all, but, hey, shout out to my guy. I forget your name, but, like, props to you for taking this to Worlds. I lost my mind when I saw Kabutron flipped up as a starter. But, other than that, just peace out and stay swag.